More on the 3 words that could save your life in a fire. Close the door.
Yeah, last night our investigative team showed how a closed bedroom door can give you extra seconds to survive if you wake up to a fire. But some of the nation's leading fire safety groups have not been sharing that message.
Tonight's senior investigative reporter Scott Friedman is asking why they aren't. Scott?
Yeah, Brian and Meredith, that new research shows a closed door not only blocks smoke, it can slow the flow of heat and toxic gases, giving people extra seconds to wake up and get out alive. But despite evidence closed bedrooms doors can help save lives, we've discovered some top fire safety groups are not teaching that lesson.
How many people are trapped inside?
I'm not sure.
2 children call 911
I can't breathe.
after waking up to a fire.
I'm gonna die. Oh, yes. Please don't say that.
The 911 operator tells them to move away from the flames and close a bedroom door.
Stay low to the floor, close the door, okay?
Behind the door, the kids wait until Maryland firefighters break through a window.
Is that your window, right?
The 9-year-old and 13-year-old survive.
I got him.
How big a difference does that closed door make?
Open door versus closed door could be life and death.
At Underwriters Labs, fire researcher Steve Kerber has spent years working with major U.S. fire departments, studying how doors can alter the flow of a fire. He walked away convinced of one thing.
It's very important that when everyone goes to sleep at night, that they sleep with their doors closed.
Time and time again, Kerber says the door not only blocked smoke, it cut off intense heat and toxic gases, buying extra seconds to survive for someone unable to get out. So you believe lives will be saved if more people hear this message?
Lives will definitely be saved if people hear the message to close their door.
But our investigation found that message is not being widely shared. We looked at education materials from some of the nation's leading fire safety groups and found they rarely mention sleeping with the door closed. FEMA's U.S. Fire Administration has created all kinds of safety guides for adults and kids. But in most of them, there's nothing about sleeping with a closed door. We saw only one mention of it here on FEMA's Ready.gov website, in this list under More Fire Safety Tips. Why do you think it is this message hasn't been put out there very widely?
It's a great question. I don't know the answer to that.
So we asked FEMA. The agency told us it tested the closed door message in focus groups and found some people didn't like it. So FEMA decided not to include it. A spokeswoman told us, "We have learned that we can't tell our customers everything that we know is important." Everyone had important reasons for not wanting to sleep with the door closed, despite the fact that it was safer. Some examples were hearing children, knowing what is going on in the house, etc.
I understand that you want to hear your kid, you want to be near your kid, you want to mama bear them and protect them, but it's actually doing more harm than protect if you keep that door open.
Lexi King survived a nighttime fire 11 years ago, but her parents and her brother did not make it out. Her brother always slept with his door open. Lexi kept hers closed. She says the door kept smoke out of her room, giving her extra seconds to wake up and find a way out. So what would you say to a safety group that's not putting this message near the top of the list?
Look at where I am right now. And look at what is not next to me, which is my family members.
FEMA's U.S. Fire Administration declined an on-camera interview. Other safety groups like the National Fire Protection Association told us they have not included the closed-door message because they think it's more important to remind people to install smoke detectors inside and outside of each bedroom. But the NFPA says a committee will reconsider adding closed doors to safety lessons next year. Based on this new research and are constantly making sure the messages reflect current information, we will take a look at this, a spokesperson said. In Fort Worth, the fire department is not waiting. They plan to start teaching everyone in the city to sleep with doors closed because they've been so impressed with the UL research.
We now have that science to back up that we know we can say, this makes a difference. This is going to give you more time in a house fire.
Captain Brown, this is Captain Man. Go ahead.
At their training center, they showed us how doors hold back heat and smoke. They light a fire in a room and then close a door between us and the fire. With that door closed, we see only light smoke around us. But to show you how effectively the door is holding back the smoke and heat, they open it up so we can see how fast the temperature rises and the smoke increases.
Yeah, now that we open everything up, the smoke has dropped to the floor, visibility's out. Now imagine trying to escape this fire with this amount of smoke and this amount of heat.
On a thermal imaging camera, you can see the heat glowing now as the temperature jumps to more than 200 degrees. We couldn't survive now without these protective suits.
Key message, have smoke detectors in your home, have an exit plan, and close your bedroom doors at night.
Across the country, the message is catching on in some places. In Tennessee, the state fire marshal just launched a social media campaign, #CloseTheDoor. And the Texas State Fire Marshal's office tells us it talks about the importance of closing doors in all fire safety presentations.
The more you can have between yourself and a fire, the safer you'll be.
The Dallas Fire Department also includes this message in lessons, like this tip sheet reminding teens to sleep with their door closed. But they also remind people they need smoke detectors and an escape plan in addition to a closed door.
This is only a small bullet point to a larger picture as it relates to fire safety. However, we believe it's a very important bullet point.
Lexi King believes her family would have wanted her to share the message.
Keep those doors closed, keep that fire contained.
So others will know how a closed door could give them the seconds they need.
I had oxygen. I had time to collect my thoughts. I had time to prepare myself.
Unfortunately, there's no national data showing how many people have survived or died in rooms with closed or open doors. Most fire departments across the country don't collect information that detailed. They're more focused on trying to find the cause of the fire. But Brian and Meredith, experts we talked to want everyone to remember, install smoke detectors inside and outside of each bedroom, practice an escape plan with your family, and close that door. We're going to keep tracking this to see if more national groups start adding that last piece to their safety messages. Hopefully your story will help.